All right, let's settle down, settle back, settle down, settle back. Let's get our guest speaker up here. Man, we're so excited to have him on this Monday. He lives out in Summersville, South Carolina. That place is growing in leaps and bounds. And I tell you what, he's doing a fantastic job out there. Him, his wife, also his business partner, Mr. Reggie Larson, is out there doing it. They're out there in the trenches. He comes from a history of network marketing. They're very fabulous in his past company. So proud to get him part of our company and out there doing things and making things happen for his family. He's got a vision for what he wants to see for the South Carolina area. He's going to, look, he mess around. He's going to run it for state legislature in a minute because he's going to take over. Ladies and gentlemen, can we give a warm welcome to none other than Regional Director in the far corner, Mr. Curtis Evans.
Thank you for a warm introduction, Mr. Thomas. We're really happy to be here. But what I'm going to do is help you all out. Let's talk about some of the fundamentals of our business, okay? It's the thing is so simple, it's scary. Now, sometimes we make it complicated, but I'm going to tell you, we live in a complicated world today. It's different. I'm 70, going on 71, which tells me, and Mr. Thomas actually brought it up when he was here, that is very, very difficult to recruit us because, no, it's not hard to recruit us, but get us to do something. That's the difference. And he said, the older you get, you kind of fall in your ways. You probably went to one too many funerals and you made decisions about this, that, the other thing, So when you're in your 20s and 30s, you just don't want to be a regular old dude, a regular old guy, a regular old girl. You don't, and as you get older and older, sometimes you fall into what psychologists say, the illusion of grandeur about how great your life is and how great it was and all that. So we go through these phases as we go through life. You all know about it. So sometimes people will tell you crazy things like they got more time right now. They're older. They got more time. They can do this. They don't want a job. They can do this. They want to make some extra money. They can do this. But they'll come up with something like, I'm good. Well, I just cannot figure that out. In order to be good, I mean, we really don't know what good is. Let me talk about that just for a minute. What is good? When somebody tells you, I am good. Now, we're not talking about health-wise. Health-wise, we all want to have good health. So let's not even talk about that. I want not to have a sore throat right now. So health is the biggest. It's probably number one. But we're talking finances for a minute. Finances means I was able to get from this Friday to next Friday and nothing happened. So I think in their minds, I'm good. And I've done that over and over and over and over again. So I'm good. And we know they're not good. How can you be good with $3.12 in your pocket? Huh? How can you be good with $1.87 and I'm gonna stay home until I get my next check? I'll just stay here. I mean, that is not good. But if you think it's good, then it's good. Okay. So it's just a little tougher when we're talking to people, in my judgment, my age, even though we have the time and the skills, social skills, we know a lot of people. We know a lot of people with services. We know a lot of people that's trying to make money. It's just, we got so many reasons to be able to recruit older people. But in my judgment, they went to one funeral too many and they kind of said, well, I'm just glad to be here, that sort of thing. So, and there's nothing wrong with all that. That's their life. What I want you to do is to talk to everybody, because sometimes you got to go through, I can't remember how Mr. Thomas put it. You got to go through, you got to go through somebody to get to the person you're looking for. Okay. So you may not be looking for Joe, the person you're talking to that's 88 years old, but Joe knows his son. Okay. And Joe knows his nephew. And that's the person that come in. I remember when I was working with my other business, I had a girl I was talking to for a long, long time. And finally she said, I'll do this, but excuse me, I just don't have the money to get started with it. So I said, if I got half and you got half, could we do this? She said, you'll do that? I said, yeah. I said, yeah. So she came with her half. I had my half. She got signed up into the business. She got 4 or 5 customers, which was good, her and their daughters and all that. And then we were talking about IBOs. She signed up. We had that's a long story. I won't go back in history here, but her sister lived in Alabama. Okay. And her sister I did a presentation on the phone for her sister. We didn't have Zoom back then. I did a presentation on the phone for her sister, and she had the speakerphone on. And after it was all over, it was a three-way call. Her sister said, "This is just not for me. I've been in a couple things, and la la la, and I can't sell that." She was going through all that. She said, "So I'm going to have to say no." I heard a man jump up in the background, which was her husband, who was watching TV. She thought, but he was listening to the call. You got me? And he jumped up and said, hold it, don't hang up, hold on. We're gonna do this. And I was kind of shocked. I said, who's that? She said, that's my husband. She said, you sure? He said, yeah, this makes sense. What he told you makes sense. Everybody got this stuff. We can do this. So she said, well, what about, but he said, don't worry about it, we'll do this. So they got started, and I had them do a three-way call with someone they knew, which was an older guy. These are older people now. And I was, and with the older guy, and he said, you think it's going to work? And I said, it's going to work. It's working. And so he got started, and then he signed up a guy out of Canada that was down there doing some missionary work, and that guy brought my whole Canadian organization in. That was my third level, and I had hundreds of reps coming in out of Canada. This was on a girl that didn't think she would do it, and she said, I said, if you pay half and I pay half, I'll get you started. And when these people went across stage in Florida, we had a regional event in Florida. When these people went across stage, a lot of them, I mean, all kinds of people, they flew down from Canada. I mean, I had at that event probably 200 people at that event. And I was down there shuddering. I was scared. It was almost, and this happens to everybody. Ms. Thomas will tell you about it. You're down there, so I almost didn't put that girl into business. It was a couple $100 I put out of my pocket. I almost didn't do it. If you don't have the money, I ain't messing with you, But I knew her, and so that's what we did. But I almost didn't help out somebody for $100, $50, whatever it is. Now, I'm not telling you to do that, but I'm just telling you, don't prejudge. Just this prejudging will get you into a big mess. So I just don't want you to prejudge, and that's how it works. And these stories go like that. So you sign up one person, and then you see who they know. It's called tap rooting. You all know about this. And then you see who they know, and you see who they know, because there's a good chance that you don't know somebody who's going to make that big a difference in your life. You just don't know them. You may not know them, but they know people who know people who know people. And that's what we're doing. It's called network marketing. Okay. When Mr. Thomas signed me up, he got my network. Okay. When I signed up a man just a couple weeks ago, I got his network. Okay. Now, some people won't let you get to their network. And I'll do this. Mr. Thomas knows what I'm doing, because they're too pretty. They're too pretty. They're too successful. They got a big network, but they don't want anybody to know that they're doing this. They want to get rich first, and then they'll come back and talk to their network. Big mistake. You can't do anything about that. Those people come in. I want to show you today a regular guy, okay, who knew somebody. Now, I don't want you to think about him. I want you to think about the person who signed him up, okay? The person who signed him up. Okay, so we're going to show a short video, and it's out in the back office. Most of the stuff I got for you guys comes out of the back office. And I want you to remember, there are a lot of regular people that don't know about this thing called multi-level marketing. They don't know about this thing called network marketing. They don't know about this thing called ACN. They don't know about essential services. They don't know about residual income. They just don't know. So when they say no, they're saying, I don't know. They're not saying they're not saying no N-O. They're saying I don't K-N-O-W. I don't know. And so that's where it takes a little bit of our skills to help them to appreciate what we have. And what we have is unique, especially the time period we're about to go through. There are certain times in network marketing, and Mr. Thomas would tell you, if you're in it and you're at a certain position at the right time, and you're pressing hard at the right time, you, my friend, are wealthy. You are wealthy if you're working hard at the right time, got some skills under your belt, and you know how not to prejudge. So it's happened to everybody that's been around. The reason it hasn't happened to more people is they just won't stick around. I mean, they just won't stick around. But they don't. They got a library card in their wallet. They don't go there. They got a gym card in the wallet. They don't go there. They belong to a church. They don't go there. they belong to, they belong to, they belong to, they belong to. So, and they belong to ACN. They don't go there. And that's when something happens, they just didn't see the benefit of it. So let's get started with this short video.
You know, I did realize that the mind can absorb only what the rear can endure, so I'm not going to talk very long, but I do have some good stuff. I'm going to spend about 30 seconds telling you who I am, and then I'm going to go over some stuff that I think can help you be successful. Is that fair enough? I'm assuming we're here because we would like to make lots of money. Yes or yes? Okay, well, guys, for the ones that don't know me, I'm a high school basketball coach by trade. I coached for 16 years at Lakeview High School in Garland, Texas. That's a suburb east of Dallas. I loved it. I did it with a passion. I felt like I helped some kids. Sponsored the Fellowship of Christian Athletes, did all kinds of stuff, but never made much money. Believe it or not, in public education, you just don't make a lot of money. I finally decided that the Dallas Mavericks or none of those NBA teams were going to call me, so I was trying to figure out what I was going to do to change my life, and this business came along. A friend of mine showed me this, and I just kept remembering two things, you know, just mainly one, just essential services, and the other one was residual income. As a teacher, I'd never experienced residual income. I thought I might like that. So I decided to get involved. Guys, I got in, I had a goal to make $1,000 a month. I thought, boy, if I could make $1,000 a month, it'd help me pay some credit card bills down. So I started talking to people, and it took me a few weeks, but I finally got a check with a comma, and I was pumped up. I mean, a check with a comma and my name on it, I was fired up. But you know what? I used to go to church with a man named Zig Ziglar, and Zig would always say, go as far as you can see, and when you get there, you're going to be able to see further. Well, Zig was right. When we got a check with a comma in it, then, you know, I could see a squiggly number in front of that comma next time. And we got to the squiggly numbers, and I just kept realizing that my mind kept expanding, and I kept seeing bigger and bigger numbers as goals, and I realized that even an old boy like me could accomplish some great things, guys. You got to understand, I grew up in the ghettos in South Dallas. I had no dad in my life. My mom worked in a sewing factory. There were 2 murders and a rape within 7 houses of us. I don't say any of that so you feel sorry for me. I just want you to understand my perspective, because I think sometimes we get in here and we say, you just don't know where I come from. Well, you don't know where I come from. I mean, I saw more drugs and violence as a kid than I care to remember, but it is what it is. It helped make me who I am today. You know, I promise you, guys, everybody in here, a couple of things. One, none of us can help where we came from. You know, we just kind of popped out and there was mom and dad. I mean, you know, we had no say-so in that deal. The other thing I can promise everybody in here is that everybody in here has got some dirty laundry. We've all screwed up. I told somebody the other day, I got so many skeletons in my closet, I can barely fit my clothes in, you know. I mean, some of those things where I look back and I go, what was I thinking, you know? I'm sure we've all had some of that, but let me tell you what, guys, it doesn't matter where we come from, and it doesn't matter if we've made some mistakes in the past, because we all have. Don't think that you're the only one that screwed up a few times. You're not. We all did it. Guys, we've got a chance with ACN to totally change our lives. Totally change our lives. But it's going to take you doing a few things different. It's going to take you having a mindset change. You know, how many of us got trapped into leading a life we really never intended to live? You know, I know as a teacher, I could raise both hands. I never dreamed that I'd be struggling just to pay some basic bills, but I was. I got trapped into leading a life I had never intended to live. Well, ladies and gentlemen, we got a chance to get out of that. We've got a chance to make our dreams come true. See, it's never too old to be the person that you might have been. Do you understand that? So it doesn't matter our age here tonight, ladies and gentlemen. All it matters is what's in here. Do you have the heart to make a change in your life? 3 things. You got to listen real fast, guys. 3 things. 1, we got to start dreaming again. I'm going to tell you what gets me out of bed in the mornings is my dreams, my goals. I have them on my phone. I put them on my memos. I've got 14 goals I'm shooting for this year. 14 goals. I read them morning and night. I know where I'm going in my life. I know what I'm trying to accomplish. Do I hit them all on their date and stuff? No, I screw up some, and sometimes I don't hit them. Next year I'll put some of the same goals because I didn't quite make it. But I know where I'm trying to get, and it gets me out of bed in the mornings. Guys, if you're slamming out of bed on Monday morning, what that tells me is that you don't have enough goals and dreams. That tells me that you're just kind of living life and that you're stuck in mediocrity. I'm telling you right now, it is time we get excited about life. Do you realize we don't get do-overs? Do you realize this isn't some dress rehearsal? Do you realize this is it? We've got to change our lives right now if we want to, and we've got the vehicle. It just boils down to who wants it, because that's really what it's going to come down to. You know, the only reason I'm standing up here is I've got a burning desire in my butt to be somebody. That's the only reason I'm here. I'm not the sharpest knife in the drawer. I can promise you that one, but I tell you what, I got passion about life. I got passion about accomplishing my goals, and I wrote mine down. Before you go to bed tonight, you write your goals and dreams down, ladies and gentlemen. Number 2, we got to grow as a person. When I was in school, I was on the Just Get Me Out of Here program. I don't know if anybody can relate to that, but when I went to university, I knew to coach I had to have a degree, but I was on, hey, just get me out of here. Get me that piece of paper and get me out of here. And I look back now and I learned a little bit. Sure, I had to just because I was sitting there, but I could have learned so much more. My whole attitude on learning has changed. Now I'm a lifelong learner. I am trying to learn. One, I read. And I taught math so I wouldn't have to read. Is that not kind of crazy? But now I read. I mean, I've got books on audio. I've got audio book on my phone, and I'm listening to books. When I was flying here yesterday, I was listening. When I'm flying back tonight, I'll be listening. I'm trying to grow because, see, our circumstances are because of our actions, and our actions are because of our thoughts. If we want something different, we got to get this changed. We've got to understand. So read. The other thing is at night, instead of watching that time-wasting electronic income reducer that a lot of people call a television, I'm going to say, get your computer out and let's watch some Zig Ziglar, Stephen Covey, Les Brown, Joyce Myers. Let's listen to some personal growth giants talk to us about how we can change our lives. Instead of putting crap in, let's put some good stuff in and start changing the way we think. Because, guys, we can do anything that we set our mind to, but it's all going to start right here. We need to read. We need to watch a little bit. My third one, run with winners, guys. When I was growing up in South Dallas, I tell you, the group I was running with, they were not the winners. They were not the winners. You know, those skeletons in the closet, a lot of them were because of the guys I was hanging out with back then. I still love those guys, and I'd help them if they come and needed something, but I'm telling you right now, I can't spend time with those guys anymore. They were going down the wrong path. Guys, everybody in here, you know some winners. You need to start spending more time with winners. Start spending time with people that are going somewhere with their life. Spend time with people that are motivated and they're excited about life. Guys, we don't have time in our lives because it goes by so quick to spend it with a bunch of losers. Now, understand, sometimes with family, we got to spend a little time with them. I tell people all the time, my family's just a bunch of rednecks. I mean, you know, it is what it is. I love them all, but they're my rednecks, so I spend some time with them. But I try not to spend a lot of time, if you know what I mean. Guys, we got to spend time with winners, and all of a sudden you'll get excited about life too. When I'm spending time with all the leaders in ACN, man, I listen to what they're doing and their excitement and what they're accomplishing and the things they're doing with their life, and I get all pumped up. Guys, read, watch, and run with winners. That's how we grow as a person. And I'm telling you right now, one of the other reasons that I'm standing here is because I decided to get on that growth path. I decided to become a lifelong learner. I'm telling you right now, write your dreams down and then start growing. My last point, guys, you're going to have to work your butt off. If you're wanting to make significant money, how many in here would like to make some significant money? If you're wanting to make significant money, you got to understand, this takes work. It takes work. The first 2 or 3 years I was in the business, I mean, I busted my butt. Every free second, I was busting my butt. Guys, you got to be willing to do that. See, really the secret to success is not a secret. The secret to success is make a list, set appointments, show the plan, and plug into everything you can plug into. There's the secret. People all the time say, Presley, have you made all that money? I made all that money because I showed the plan and 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 got sick of showing the plan, but I kept showing the plan and showing the plan and showing the plan. If you want to make a lot of money, here's the deal. You make that list and then you start making phone calls. See, you're just playing with it if you're setting your butt on the couch thinking about who you need to call, but you never pick the phone up. I'm telling you right now, there's no secrets to this business. It's not about special ability. It's about action. Are you willing to get your butt up and do something? See, do you want to have stuff that other people can't have? You got to be a little different. It's going to require you to get out of your comfort zone. Do we know what that is? Do you realize my comfort zone was probably about that big? I don't even know if I could get my feet in it when I started. But if we'll take a small step out, it'll grow, and we take another step out, it'll grow, and we take another step out, and it'll grow. But we're going to have to get our butt out there and start showing that plan and showing that plan. We've got amazing services. All of them are amazing services. But I'm telling you right now, with Impact, we got a chance to blow the roof off right now. And if you're not out there leading the crusade, as Jeff was talking about, something's wrong. I'm leading a crusade against insurance companies because they're making billions of dollars on the backs of hardworking American people who can't afford to pay their premiums. I'm leading that crusade. I hope you'll decide to join me on that crusade. Guys, we've got a chance to do something amazing. We've got a chance to show people with our last name that we can do something special. Guys, you're going to leave a legacy one way or the other. What kind of legacy are you going to leave? Here's my challenge to all of us. I challenge us. Let's draw a line in the sand right now. And let's make a decision right now that we're going to change our life. Let's make a decision that we're going to get our butt out there and do stuff that other people aren't willing to do. Guys, only 2.5% of the population are visionaries. 2.5%. The rest of the people are followers. We are the 2.5%. Guys, we got greatness inside us. Let's make it happen. Let's do this. I believe with all my heart there'll be two groups of us. The group that's glad they did and the group that wishes they had. God bless you guys.
Okay, so everybody that is here, I want you to understand one thing. This is in your back office where I got this material, okay? It's under leadership, it's in the back. And there's all the speakers are back there. Everybody's back there, okay? There's all kind of people. And you may get a person that needs to see Patrick. You send them the video. You can go up there and copy the address. You know, even though it's in your back office, you can copy the address down and send them the link. And Mr. Al Randolph may be the person that Swaggerty made a big difference to. So if you know somebody like Al, and I know Al, you send that to him. And you may see another girl or a younger girl, older girl, older man, younger guy, or whoever, and send them that video and let them watch it. And you'll wake up to remember this girl that said she wasn't interested in the business. She said, I'm not interested in this. I've been in so many things before and I never made any money. I just can't sell nothing. So thank you for calling. And her husband in the back jumped up and said, hold it, hold it, hold it, hold it. We're in. She said, what are you talking about? He said, I was listening. She said, I thought you were on TV. He jumped up and signed up a circuit overseer that came into the business, and he signed up a guy named Larry Wells out of Canada who put in a lot of people in Canada and a whole lot of people in Alabama. So you just don't know who you're talking to. So did you sign up Presley Swaggerty? He was in the business with Al and myself. Did you sign him up? Or did you sign up the person that signed him up? Or did you sign up the person that signed him up? Maybe Mr. Randolph signed me up, and then I signed up Swaggerty, and he signed up Al, who signed up the Mazers. You just don't know. And the thing about this business, you just don't know. So a dud sometimes will get a stud. You know, you just don't know. And so sometimes we're looking at the person and we're trying to decide if they're going to be good at this. We're trying to decide if they're SVP for material. I want to know, is Mr. Harrison ETL material? And then on the way to ETL, Mr. Harrison signed up Mr. Thomas, who signed up Mrs. Lynch, who signed up Mr. Williamson. So, you know, we're looking at the persons. It's not them, it's that 1,000 people they know. And so the guy that just spoke a minute ago, Presley and Cowboy, I'm telling you, they're regular people. There's nothing special about them, okay? So if you want to work on your why, well, your why may be whatever, but how bad do you want the why? You can put it down on paper. I've seen that before. I put it on paper before. It's just how bad do you want the why? And he wanted to stop being, I'll tell you what helped him get into the business. They had fried chicken one day. This is the story he told me. He said they had fried chicken one day at school. and he could not get a plate. He forgot about them having fried chicken day. So he went out to the car and looked all through the car for change and everything so that he can get a fried chicken dinner, and could not find enough change in the car to get a fried chicken dinner at school. And that flipped him right there. He said that was embarrassing. And so, you know, who are these people out there? They're out there. So thank y'all very much, Mr. Thomas. The floor is all yours.